Hey everyone, and welcome to Canine Dog Talk. We all imagine that daily walk is the absolute highlight of our dog's day. But what if I told you that for a huge number of dogs, it's actually a time of silent stress? Today, we're going to dig into the common habits that might just be turning this precious bonding time into a source of anxiety. So let's just start with this number because it's pretty staggering. A whopping 92% of us, and yeah, I'm including myself here, are doing something on our walks that has a negative effect on our dogs. Now, of course, nobody's doing it on purpose, but it's happening every single day on every block in every park. And that really forces us to ask a tough question, right? Are you part of that 92%? I mean, could something you do completely on autopilot without even thinking be the one thing that's making your dog's favorite time of day secretly stressful? All right, so let's get into our first big idea here, what we're calling the unseen disconnect. This is that invisible wall that can go up between you and your dog, even when they're right there at your side. You know the scene. We've all seen it, and let's be honest, we've all probably done it. One hand's on the leash, the other is scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. To us, it's just multitasking. But to our dog, to them, it feels like we've vanished. They look to us for safety, for cues, for connection. And when our attention is on a screen, all they get is silence. And that silence, it's absolutely deafening. So, when we're disconnected like that, it's no surprise that it leads to an even bigger issue, a total breakdown in communication. This is where our best intentions can really start to backfire. And I love how this slide breaks it down. On one side, you have correcting, the leash pop, the sharp hey, that kind of thing. It's really just about punishment and it creates fear. But on the other side, you've got communicating. That's all about guidance, trust, and working together. It's the difference between being a boss and being a partner. And look, this isn't just some feel-good idea. It's straight up science. A study from the University of Bristol found that dogs trained with punishment had way higher levels of cortisol. That's the stress hormone. So every time that leash gets yanked, it's not just stopping a behavior. It's pumping their body full of stress and chipping away at the trust you've worked so hard to build. This is so important to understand. A quiet dog is not always a happy dog. You know that dog who used to lose his mind over skateboards, but now he just kind of freezes up and goes stiff when one passes? He didn't magically get brave. He learned that his signals, his barks, his lunges were ignored. Researchers at the University of Lincoln have a name for it: learned helplessness. It's when a dog just gives up. That silence you're seeing isn't calm, it's resignation. And this whole communication mess leads us right into something called the control paradox. It's this super frustrating cycle where the harder we try to control the walk, the more our dogs seem to fight against us. Sound familiar? It's a vicious cycle so many of us are stuck in. The dog pulls, so what do? We tighten the leash. But to them, that constant tension is a signal. It's a signal that we're in a tug-of-war. So naturally, they pull back harder. The tighter we grip, the more they feel the need to break free. And this, right here, this slide just hits the nail on the head. It's the root of the problem. We walk out the door with completely different agendas. We're thinking, okay, gotta get my steps in, or let's get to the park and back. Meanwhile, what are they doing? They're trying to read the morning news on a fire hydrant, map out the neighborhood, and just experience the world with their nose. So let's talk about that. To truly fix our walks, we have to flip the script. We've got to start trying to see, and yeah, smell, the world from their point of view. We've all felt that little tug of impatience, right? When they stop at the same bush for what feels like the 100th time. But here's the thing. For a dog, sniffing isn't just sniffing. It's essential. A study from Linkshep University actually found that the act of sniffing physically lowers a dog's heart rate. So next time they're taking forever, just remember, you're not waiting. You're letting them have a little therapy session. It's not wasted time, it's mental health care. So often we think socialization means throwing our dog into the deep end, exposing them to everything all at once. But just flooding them with triggers like a chaotic street or a super loud park doesn't build confidence. It builds fear. In fact, research from the University of Helsinki showed that living with chronic noise leads to long-term stress. Real confidence is built in moments of peace, not in chaos. Wow, this analogy is just perfect, isn't it? We see another dog, the owner seems nice, and we think, oh, they should say hi. But being on a leash takes away a dog's most important social tool, the ability to create space and retreat if they feel uncomfortable. It can make even the most social butterfly of a dog feel trapped, defensive, and even reactive. Okay, so we've laid out all the problems. That can feel a little heavy, I know. But the good news is, we can fix it. So how do we reimagine the walk and turn it back into that amazing, joyful experience it's supposed to be? It really boils down to 3 simple but powerful shifts. First, pause before you go. Instead of that frantic explosion out the door, just take a breath. Wait for a moment of calm before you even step outside. It sets the tone for the entire walk. Second, loosen the leash. A tight leash screams tension. A loose, J-shaped leash, that signals partnership. Think of it as a smile in leash form. And third, let the song fade. Instead of just abruptly ending the walk, have a little cool-down routine. A calm moment in the yard or a final sniff lets them know the adventure is over for now. And look, turning walks from stressful to successful is just one piece of the puzzle. If this kind of deep dive into your dog's world is something you're into and you want to keep building that incredible bond, then please subscribe to Canine Dog Talk. We've got so much more to share. I want to leave you with this one last thought. Every single thing your dog does, a flick of the ear, a tuck of the tail, the way they shift their weight, it's all communication. They're speaking to you with their entire body all the time. So the real question is, are we putting our phones away long enough to listen back?